Hi, you guys. Once again, we are so glad that you have chosen to come and join us.
Yep.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Chris, and you found It's a Mom Thing on our new
YouTube channel.
Yeah, there you go.
Since we have a radio show, it's we have to remind ourselves where we are.
Right.
And on the radio, it doesn't matter what we look like, so it's another opportunity for us. Every week we come to you to go, oh yeah, we do have to put some mascara on and put something on that's a little decent.
Okay, so here's the deal. We are here for moms of all ages and in all stages because we say once you're a mom, you're always a mom.
And it is the toughest job you'll ever love.
Yes.
And you know what we're talking about.
Because even as we speak, my mother is in there with the nephews, my nephews, so I'm supposed to be keeping
Her great-grands.
But then I had to do something else, so I called my mom. Mom, can you come help? Sure enough, she comes right over
Of course.
And then, of course, if my daughter calls me, my granddaughter calls her mom.
She gone.
So there's the point. Once you're a mom, you're always a mom.
Absolutely.
So we promise each week to give you some good, solid advice on how to be a good mom, how to do things in relationships, and also just maybe some projects or things that we have been involved in over the years because we have a lot of experience between the two of us, and that's how you say we're old without really saying it. See?
I didn't say that.
No, it's experience.
No.
Yeah.
Well
Okay,
seasoned.
so the
That's
topic today is kids and chores.
And the importance of chores and what that develops in our kids. And I know you're going to want to hear this.
Well, because here's the thing, chores, the word chores has kind of gotten a bad rap. I think people don't even like to hear
Just
that
recently,
I
not
know.
when our parents raised
No,
us.
I'm talking about
Not in my house.
new generation. It's
Not
gotten
my
a bad rap
children.
because nobody wants to do chores. But actually, the word chores, the definition of chores simply is to do something repetitively, something that has to be done over and over and over again. And there are certain things that every day when we get up, they have to be done over and over again, or then you live in a pigsty. So we don't want that. So here's the thing, it can often be very challenging to get our kids motivated to do the chores that they're supposed to do.
But it can also be a lot of fun.
It can be.
It can be, because your mom, I'm sure, like my mom would say, many hands make light work.
Yes.
And she would make it fun. I mean, she always made it fun for us to all work together.
If you're not familiar with that generation, they spoke in quotes.
Yeah.
So it was like, many hands make light work. Okay, that just means everybody get up, let's get the job done.
Quickly.
That's what we would do.
Yes.
But anyway, the truth is that as parents, it is our job to teach our children that responsibility is a hugely important thing.
Absolutely.
We say all the time that your home is your very first taste of citizenship. You learn
Community.
to function in this home,
Yeah.
and then you take that out into the community, into the world, and bigger and broader atmospheres. But it all has to start at home.
But we have to take responsibility for helping our little people who are going to become big people and bigger people, as mine have and yours have. She has grandbabies. I don't have any. But it's our responsibility to model that and pass that on so they can pass it on, so our community can benefit from our children.
Right.
Chris says all the time, you know I'm always going to love you, to her kids, but I really want other people to like being around you.
Right.
That's the important thing here.
Hugely important. So here's the deal. When we teach our children responsibility and how to do chores, not only does it make our family life smoother, it is essential to their development and their self-respect.
Absolutely.
That's a whole other topic, and we will get to that later, this idea of self-esteem versus self-respect. Not going to talk about that today, but we will.
She's saying that for my sake, because every time she says self-esteem, I got to address it. I got to address it.
I'm stopping it right now.
Self-respect, yes, okay.
So anyway, but doing chores requires some really important skills out of your children. Number one, it requires them to use mature judgment. And who doesn't want our kids to learn that, even at age 3, 4, and 5?
Absolutely.
We're
They're
building
capable.
blocks
Yes.
to mature judgment decisions later in high school and college, young adult years, where that's so important. So doing chores helps develop that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it helps our kids become less impulsive. You know, it helps them have to figure things out, have to do things in order. We're not going through the drive-through here. We're not going to a microwave. We want to do it right. My mother also used to say, if it's worthwhile doing, it's worthwhile doing right. So we want them to become less impulsive and learn that there's a process and a procedure to follow.
Exactly, because that's a life skill they'll take into their jobs, into their college, into their high school years. The last thing that they will need to do chores is having this awareness of other people and this sense of responsibility and perceptions about what other people need in their life.
There's a bigger picture.
Man, that's a huge thing. And so it's that little simple thing of when your child is loading the dishwasher, she's helping you as the mom.
Right.
She's helping the entire family.
She's a part of a bigger unit.
That's what happens.
You know, the word also talks about how everybody has in the church, everybody has their own position and part. One is an arm, one may be a leg. You know, everyone has a purpose. And when we help our children learn to do chores, they learn that everybody is important. Everybody is necessary to make up the sum total of the family, of the bigger picture.
Which
and
brings
then
us back to that self-respect word.
Absolutely. And then when they're out other places, they are already used to pitching in, jumping in there and making their hands useful to help others.
That's exactly right. So what can we do as a parent? The first thing you can do is if things have kind of gotten out of control and you haven't set this idea of chores, the first thing you can do is have a heart-to-heart with your kids. And that's just, no matter how old they are, sit down and say, you know what, guys? We all have to help make this house run. And kids will understand that. So have a great heart-to-heart with your kids, telling them exactly what needs to be done and how you're going to go about it. Have a plan when you sit down with them.
And you'll get that opportunity over and over and over again.
Yes.
But make use of those opportunities. Those are sweet times. Those are special times. They're important times. The next thing is to make chore times consistent, like after breakfast, after supper. Getting chores done can become a helpful habit in life, and you eat and brush your teeth every day, several times a day. Let's make it consistent. Let's make it a plan. In our home, as soon as we got up from the table, we knew we had 15 minutes in the kitchen. And there were 7 in my family, 6 in hers, and we knew one was wiping the table, one was loading the dishwasher, one was washing something, one was wiping down the counters, one was putting food away, whatever. We knew 15 minutes after dinner belonged to our mom.
Right, and it was back to the quote, many hands make light work. Because
That's right.
We all pitched in.
And Saturday mornings were the same way.
And that was
We
the same
knew.
for us as
We
well.
knew
Yes.
Saturday mornings, if we wanted to plan something, we needed to work out ahead of time with our mom what we needed to have done before we left. Otherwise, we all got up together, we had breakfast together, and we worked probably about noon. But
And you all know what it is for you yourself to develop some consistent habits. So it's the same thing for your kids.
Right.
Teaching them that as soon as their feet hit the ground, perhaps they go in and brush their teeth, or if you want them to make up their bed, everybody has different things that they want done in their household. And for my house, when I was growing up, my mom really wanted us to have our beds made, and so we got up, and the first
that
thing
way you
we
don't
did,
get back in it.
That's right. You get up and you straighten the bed. So whatever you require.
Whatever works best for your household, that's what you need to figure out.
Exactly right. And so here's the third thing. You can make it fun. And I'm not all about that everything we do in life has to be fun, because there are some things in life that are just not that much fun. But we can make our chores more fun. You can
whistle while you work.
In our house growing up, my mom was a singer and their family was singer too. So we got in the kitchen to wash dishes.
Oh my goodness.
Then singing.
Sound of
broke out.
music, every Disney kind of song, everything. We sang all the time.
But if you're not a singer, you can have a kitchen dance
Crank
party
the music.
or whatever.
Crank the music. That's what I'm talking
Some
about.
other fun things you can do is come up with little chore charts. This is just one that I ran off the internet. They're so easy. There's a ton of them out there. So I thought we'd just show you one, and you just list their names, or the chores here, the child's name, the
I'll be
chores
Diana.
here. Yeah, name here, chores here, and then you just check them off. A simple little checklist.
People
Now-
love checklists. Little
Yeah.
kids love checklists. They
Little
love to
kids
see
love it.
what they've accomplished.
This is one I bought at Dollar Tree.
Tree.
So, it was only $1 because it was $1.30.
And
But-
there's more in the package than
Yeah,
this.
so super.
Such a deal.
The kids love this, and they actually love to put a little sticker on there. And so the idea of these is for you to do this when they're young, so
Right.
that as they get older, you're way past stickers. It's just in their head. You've done it enough. It's become a memory skill
Right.
that they're doing when they're brushing
right.
their teeth. Now, then you'll hit the junior high years, and I'm telling you, with the junior high boys, you're going to be saying back in there, brush your
Oh,
teeth.
no. I
The
felt like
deodorant.
once my kids turned 13, I felt like, wait, all that I've poured into them, that file has been lost. Like I felt like a computer going on a search. Yes, ma'am. And no, ma'am. Thank you. All these things that were given since they could speak. It was like, okay, we're back to square one for the reminding. It's in there. I promise you, it's in there. But we have to be willing to remind as many times as it takes, because we want our young children to become older, grown up, functioning, joyful adults.
Absolutely.
There you have it.
All right.
Okay, so the fourth one is don't pay them.
Now
do not pay them.
This is our tip here. You can do what you want to in your home.
Well, and some people do give an allowance if they do all their chores.
But
what works
research
for
does
you?
suggest that external rewards are not the thing. They actually lower incentive in our
That's
children.
right. They lower.
We don't want to do anything to lower the incentive. We want to keep the incentive high. So.
And you know what? It also lessens their the heart value.
Right.
If they're giving of themselves, they feel good for giving of themselves, even if they don't act like it in the moment. They'll feel good for doing a job well done. If you're paying them, it becomes a business transaction. And this is not the way we want to do it. We want to build their self-respect.
And people who are proponents of paying them say, well, you get paid when you go to work. Well, that is true. But you don't get paid when you come home and do the dishes and that kind of thing. This is our home. So it's a different kind of a setting. And
if you do, I didn't get that.
Yeah, no, I missed that.
Missed that paycheck.
Yeah. So our children need to learn the same thing. This is what we do to live in this home. Now, if you choose to pay them for some things, we did this with our children. You can. We didn't do it this way, but this is a way you can do it. You can have some. Well, I have paint on the hand. You can do it in maybe a jar that's got popsicle sticks in it with things like clean the windows, mow the yard, extra jobs.
Extra, other than chores.
And they can pull it out, and then maybe on the back it says, if you do this, it's worth $3, $5, whatever. So obviously it's great to pay your kids for some of the other things that have to happen around the house.
Mother would do that with ironing.
Yeah,
Mother would do that with ironing, but she only paid us $0.25.
Well, times have changed just a tiny bit. All right, the next thing is to include chores for individual children that benefit the whole family.
Yes,
so it isn't
important.
just clean your room and keep your room clean. Have them sweep the kitchen floor, dust the tables in your living room, load the dishwasher, things that benefit the rest of the family. Because remember, that's what we talked about at the very beginning. We're learning how to be good citizens.
Right.
And being a good citizen is not all about me. It's all about everybody else.
And even if you hear, which you will quite often, but that wasn't my mess, but I didn't do that.
Right.
We can gently, kindly, lovingly remind them, yes, well, I take care of lots of things that I didn't do. That's what being in a community is. That's what being in a family is. And it's not going to change throughout your life. You will be most happy if you're willing to give, extend a hand, and be a part of the bigger picture.
Yeah. Say that in a loving, gentle way, and then say, here's the broom.
Yeah, firm. Firm.
There you go. All right, the last thing, of course, that we say this about everything we do, just model this right behavior.
That's
because
right.
if you are a whiner and complainer about the chores and things that you have to do, well, guess what? They're going to be like that too. So, and
Wendy Whiner and Wendell Whiner are not welcome in my home.
And really, nobody loves to scrub a toilet or those kind of things, but they have to be done. And so we approach them with that attitude of, hey, this isn't the funnest thing in life, but we've got to get it done. So hopefully the things that we shared with you today will help your kids and help you accomplish the things that you need to do to make your home run smoother.
Absolutely. And we always end every show with 4 things that we want you to know and take with you.
We end our radio shows with this, and we don't always end this show, but with our radio shows, we always say, if you're the mom of the family, be so thankful that God's given you that opportunity.
That's right, and choose your words wisely, very carefully. Choose words that draw your children's hearts closer to God.
And one thing that we have discovered with our own children and in our own little research is kids thrive on consistency. So be consistent on those important things. One of those things is chores.
But consistency does not mean boring. So have fun with your children. We'll look forward to being with you again next week. Have a great week.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll stay on the air for like an hour. I say air, this is a different media. We'll stay
We'll be hanging out
available
with you
for an hour to answer any questions or take any suggestions that you might have for a further show. We'll see you later.